Hi everyone, it's September, so it's time for another update on the balcony garden. One update is that I've started fertilizing with this 2020 fertilizer. This is just a cheap one that I got on sale, and I've been using the indoor plant fertilizing amount, so just a week amount once a week, and I will show you what kind of effect that has had, because some of the plants are loving it. One would be this heuchera, which is growing a lot of new leaves. It's gotten really bushy. I also have a little clip of it in the shade so you can see the different colored leaves and how pretty it looks. It used to look like this other heuchera down here, the green one with the little gaps, but now it's looking very bushy. This one has decided to grow flowers instead of leaves, which I'm not mad at either. They're very cute. Here's also just a general overview of the flowers over here, which are doing well. And I wanted to show you in the garden gnome, the little succulent that I picked off a rock and then planted in this little bowl is still alive, still growing. So I'm happy with that. I hope it covers the whole little bowl because this is the only thing that will grow in here. So I'm happy that is doing well. I also wanted to show you the gladiolus. In the last video, it had just started to form a flower bud, and in the past few weeks it had this beautiful flower, and the flowers are gone now, but they were beautiful while they were here. The catnip is starting to grow flowers as well. If you remember, the parent plant off of this one was covered in aphids and I got rid of it, and this came as a surprise, just started growing out of nowhere, and now it's blooming, so I'm very happy. It was a good surprise. The other gladioli, I'm not sure if they will bloom as well. We have these ones up here that are growing a lot of leaves. We still have about a month and a half or 2 months of growing time, so we'll see if they grow some new flowers or if we have to wait until next year for them to do that. One more thing that's blooming now is the obedient plant, which is pretty fun because you can move the flowers around. This is a new plant for me, so I'm excited about it. You can move the little flowers. I have a clip of me doing it on the bigger plant because you can more easily see how much they move from side to side. You can do some flower arranging in real life while the plant is still planted, so that's fun. I also have a little photo of it about a week ago when it was looking nice and fresh. So I'm going to be moving that plant once it's done flowering. I just don't want to move it while it is flowering, and I'll put the lupin in there, which I'll show you later. If you remember, I wanted to put it over here. I also quickly wanted to show you something that's not doing so well. These plants have another insect problem. I don't know what it is, maybe the milder weather with lots of rain, but I've gotten every single type of pest pretty much that you can have, and I've decided to just play survival of the fittest. So if you remember, this plant here was in quarantine. It had and still has aphids, but I've decided to just put it in here. This is the pulmonaria raspberry splash. It was sitting by itself. I'm putting it in. And also this one had spider mites, nectarine, ballerina primrose, and this is what's left of it. I'm just planting perennials and we'll see what survives. Hopefully the bugs die over the winter and the plants come back. I've also got a bugle weed over here, which I'll show you the tag and the main plant later. This is just a little cutting that I've started spreading all over the balcony garden. The ferns are looking all right. These ones are the only ones that aren't as affected by the bugs. We've got the autumn fern, maidenhair fern, this Japanese tassel fern, and also the ostrich fern, which is living its best life. That's a native one, and it's one that's hard to control, so that's what I need for this balcony garden. The ones that grow like crazy and are hard to control. I also over here have a few new plants, so sticking with what works best, I've got another type of, well, this is actually a heucherella instead of a heuchera, so it's mixed with something else, and it's part shade and full shade. Hardy, so this is perfect for here. It blooms in late spring, and hardiness -34 to -29 degrees Celsius, and we do get down to there, so hopefully it will survive that. I've also got some new stuff for this corner because the lupin is not handling the shade very well. I've got this Autumn Glow Toad Lily, which has these nice variegated leaves that match the Solomon seal, if it survives, on the other side of the balcony. It's supposed to survive a part shade and full shade, so this is the perfect place for it since it's so shady, too shady for other plants. Hardiness down to -34 to -29 degrees Celsius once again, and it's quite tall, so I think it's a good match for this corner, and it's blooming really well so far. It has these little orchid type flowers and has lots of buds, which are very cute, so I think this will be good over here, and we'll plant it once I'm able to move the lupin. I also got this bugle weed here, which has these different colored leaves. This shows you better the purple, the white, and the green variegation. So it's called carpet bugle, and it's also supposed to be able to handle part shade and full shade. So it says colorful shade plant, which is exactly what we need. We don't have a lot of carpeting so far, and I think it'll look really good. It's for down to -40 degrees Celsius, so it definitely should survive, and I've just started planting it all over to cover the pots a bit, and I think those two look good together. And right under you can still see the lupin, which is supposed to go over here once the obedient plant is done flowering and can be moved, and then we'll have lupins on either side of the table, which is the plan for the future. Lastly, I wanted to show you the morning glory, which actually is making a comeback. In the last video it was dying because of all the pests, and then we had some visits from wasps, which I don't know if they ate the thrips or if they laid eggs that turn into larvae thrips, but it is making a comeback, and it's not suffering as badly. Maybe it also needs more shade. I don't know. I'll keep you updated. It's doing good so far. And last but not least, we also have the window boxes, which are doing really well. The marigolds and the alyssum. Oh, and the chives are doing really well with the fertilization too. This other window box, the marigolds, the original ones died, but they left seeds which have grown quickly into plants and are now flowering too. So we've got the orange and the yellow marigolds, and they both match. And this is just a view of one of them, so you can see how big the alyssum has gotten and why I love it so much. It's a great plant for a window box. So that's it. Those are all the updates for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.